now demanding for what they paid for. At the end of the day, there is no difference between the first and the second. Nothing. The only difference there is the pathologist that came the first time is not the one that came this time. Simple. Simple. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Nothing more. It's raised lots of dust. We will never stop questioning you people because you deserve to be questioned. Deserve to be questioned. The deed has been done. When I don't chop money, when I don't spend money, money don't go. You know if you come back. Public don't wise. They know if you donate. If they never see what they want pay for like this, you look at them like this, say, okay, see what you want. They know they no go, they no donate now. You don't know. They no go donate. You understand? The public don't wise. Gone are the days where public they use sentiment and emotion. No more. No more. No public is using sentiment and emotion again. Everybody's asking the right question at the right time and they're expecting the answer from the right source. Come out. Come and answer our questions. You need to answer our answer. Question number one. I might not even... Let me do it this way. I'm going to skip this pathology with you. So I'll be able to establish all the questions. So that we'll be able to establish the question the right way. Pathologists don't come. They don't tell us say it's unascertained. Take it or leave it, it is unascertained. They know if you come tomorrow, can't tell you now if you don't ascertain now, it will still remain unascertained. And now, I never know how Leãked will feel anyway. If tomorrow you had the result of the autopsy is out and it reads unascertained. Because I'm going to play the video here tonight. When he said, you're not going to spend a dime, kobo, you're not going to spend on that autopsy, kobo. He is going to undo everything. Are you going to tell me, Leãked, they undo all this situation, all this while you are coming out to read unascertained to us? This boy with a Kpai for Ilorin. How many days did they run the autopsy when they come out and can't give the results? I'm asking this question, why is Mohbad issue always go left when all the issues are going right? Normally, Mohbad own go left. Why? Mohbad autopsy take almost a year before we see him. Over 8 months, the first one. The second one, almost 8 months, if not up to. At the end of the day, there is no difference. You understand? But that is not a bone of contention. That's not why I'm here tonight. I am here because I have questions to ask. And you must answer my answer. You understand? Let me put it this way. After the pathologist, I don't want to dwell in Sam Larry issue. I'm not interested. There's nothing that has to do with the death of Mo in Sam Larry's interview and all that. I'm not interested. Sam Larry just can't make us laugh for court. All of us, we enjoy that section. We enjoy this section. So I'm not interested in that. After Sam Larry, embark on the journey with who? The driver, Fidelis Esebo. I'm going to beg you people to give me just 2 minutes. But before then, let me ask my queen of energy. Are you there? What do you think, or what can you say concerning these results unascertained again?
Arifa, you want to? I don't even know what to say. You remember when I came up, I said I'm speechless because, when I heard uncertain, I said, is it that I'm hearing things? Because I don't understand. Because my expectations wasn't what I got today. But what can we do? So, I don't know, Arifa, I'm speechless. I'm disappointed. I'm speechless. I don't even know where to think. But our expectations are was just lying on this autopsy results. But it is well. I don't know what else we can do. We can't have another autopsy again, can we? We cannot have another new autopsy. So I don't know where to turn. It's just like we're in a 4-brick wall. I don't know where to turn, whether to turn left or to turn right. Or I don't even know. I don't know. I'm run out. My head is I don't have any idea, Arifa. For now, maybe if I sleep and wake up tomorrow, something will be in my brain. But for now, I don't know.
As you're confused, that is the same way I am. Because I'm sure the court will not grant another autopsy that we still need to wait for 8 months. No.
Exactly.
You understand? So, it is something else.
Which doctor came that has retired?
Do you understand? What is what happened today? Everybody will be tired, and at the end of the day, you go to your house.
Guys, let's tap Arifa network. I think so. Let's tap. Let's keep tapping, please. Let's tap.
Left. It is just that he lost his memory.
So I explained, he said yes, that he advised that they take Mohbad to the general hospital, and next day he saw him on media that this is the patient we certified dead. He said it was the next day that he didn't even know Mohbad on that first day. It was the next day when he saw Mohbad trending. So it was then he was like, this is the boy that he certified dead yesterday, right? So the son now said, recounting doctor's testimony about what he observed. In what conditions did you carry it out? So Shanshito was asking that in what condition did the doctor carry out this is testimony and what he observed, like all these palomotis and all that. So the doctor said, we checked major arteries, right? Okay, sorry, yes. We checked, not the palomosis, we checked major arteries, pulse, check for heartbeats, no heartbeats. Now they checked all the vital signs. Those were the steps they used in taking to determine that Mohbad had Kpai. Sorry. That was the part I meant there, sorry. Then, and he followed the procedures. Then, son now said, the son asked about auxiliary nurses. So the doctor talked about auxiliary nurse, explaining to them that they are auxiliary nurses, or you will see them at remote areas or like majorly on the island in a remote side, because the bodies that the governing bodies for healthcare, they hardly go to those kind of places to check. And even if they will go, there are some they would have heard about it that they are coming, they will run and japa and hide. And also, even if you are a BSc nurse or RN nurse, it's not in your place or your duty to prescribe medication or diagnose anybody. So he gave he spoke well, right? And he also said that bro, he spoke well, he educated well a lot. It was very educative. So let me go on. Sorry, because the book plenty of big much English. Let me go on. Sorry. Check major arteries, pulse, check for heartbeats. Okay, yes. Sana asked about. I read that one. Nurse don't diagnose. Many Nigerians don't. Okay, let me talk from it. Talks about nurse. BSc nurse and RNs are not to diagnose. Many Nigerians don't know the difference between auxiliary nurse and registered nurse. And anyone thinks you are a nurse and it's cause of cheap expenses. Yes, like if people here, even in any place, they will just tell you they are nurses. They feel that everybody are nurses. Now, Sunset, from your observation, he may have died 4 hours earlier. Doctor now said there is no fixed time, but there is a range. But when you see Palomotis, it's been a long while, and I showed them the sign. If you even watch the video, you will see me demonstrating it, and showed them the stiffness when I saw sign of rigor mortis. I know no CPR could have saved him at all. So yeah, the doctor was saying that he showed that if Sanchitu should watch the video. So I think the CCTV footage, they might have the video. That's what I feel, right? So he said if they watch the video, you will see me showing them in that video that he was showing the patient relative, Mohbad's people that brought him, that look at Mohbad's foot. This is the stage Mohbad has gotten to. That there's stiffness here, there's this here, there's this here. And he showed all the stages of Mohbad's Kpai, explaining the rigor mortis to them in details. Why he said Mohbad has gotten to rigor mortis stage. And there is no amount of CPR that can save him. So Sanchitu asked the question, I can't remember. He said, attempt to give O2 cause of face stiffness. So he said when he was attempting to give oxygen, that was when he noticed this face stiffness, because at that moment, it's an emergency. You are rushing, you are talking, you are doing everything ASAP. So it was there he noticed it, that it was about a few minutes or something. Then Sanchitu now asked again, in what direction would you want Corona to look into, like advice? The doctor now said most cases of cardiac arrest happens at home, and is advising that teaching CPR in all schools. When he asked, none of them gave CPR as they lack knowledge of it. So at this point here, the doctor was like, he would advise that every schools, even primary schools, should teach the kids, to teach their children. Everybody should teach people, both primary school, secondary school, any level of school, they should learn CPR. That cardiac arrest usually happens within most cardiac arrest happens at home, and within 5 to 10 minutes somebody can pass away. But if you can quickly apply the CPR, you can save a life. So he gave an instance of hospital, that if a patient is in the hospital, they've had a patient like that because the patient was in their hospital and the heart was good, so they performed the CPR and blood supplied back to the heart. That's like when there's lack of blood supply to the heart, you can pump. When you're pumping the heart, when you're doing the CPR, like pressing the chest, doing the chest compression, blood will circulate, will try and go back into the heart in order for it to wake it up. But if you have the condition of cardiomyopathy, that's like cardiomyopathy is a weak muscle. That's the muscle of the heart. That's that body is the muscle. The heart, if it is weak, if it's not strong, it will be hard for it to do the pumping, because it's that heart, that muscle that does the squeezing, the squeezing and all that. But when you didn't expect that, I'm just adding that one. But when somebody has a cardiomyopathy, that it's going to be difficult for such people to survive it. And also, if there is no blood supply to the brain, and there's nothing because the brain is feeds from glucose and oxygen with is it fluid or what did this say? Within 5 to 10 minutes, 5 minutes, before 5 minutes, try and do the heart, the chest compression, the CPR, in order to save the person. So, but he discovered, as he noticed it, that none of them did it. He asked if the nurse did CPR, perform CPR. He said no, that the nurse ran away. That's what they said, that the nurse ran away. That was what they said, though. That was what they told the doctor. The nurse ran away. So he asked further said, let me go ahead. So he said the cases of So that's it. Then the stand now asks again, what effects of what's the effect of pouring water on no, he said that what effect of pouring water on death? Sorry, what's the effect of pouring water on death? Yes. He said if it's not cardiac arrest, then he explained again that if he's unconscious, water could have entered and blocked the airway. So he talks about the ABCD. So he said that's what they told him. That nurse ran away. That's what they told him. Now, the doctor said that the doctor talked about ABCD. He said now that they said if like he said somebody is unconscious, the way you pour the water might have entered the nose, right, and enter lungs. Food no go, rice no go enter the lungs if it block airway. And that's why they say when you are eating, don't talk, because as you are talking, you are bringing out hair. What you are taking in, you are taking fluid. Give an instance that there's a probability that water, if is poured in the wrong way, and it enters through the person's nose as maybe too much, and it enters, it can cause the airway to be blocked, and that can lead to Kpai. Then he further talked about the ABCD, that's the airway. He said you have to check the airway, you have to do the B's, what does that be again? Breathing, yeah? You try and put breathing. Then we talked about C, that the circulation, that means blood should go through the head, the cardiac, you try and do that. Then the D is like diagnosis, you will check if the person has sugar problem. Diagnosis that level and all that. So those are the on the high dosage. Maybe the nurse didn't check the volume of Mohbad's blood. They didn't do PCV, and the volume could be less than 20%. Which that drug now is now stronger than Mohbad's body. That for the blood, for it instead of the blood to be how do I put it now? He said like when you have enough blood, by the time they are injecting it, it will balance well. But Mohbad might have lost a lot of blood. So now that ceftriaxone will be too strong for him, and it can cause Kpai. Then he also said what do you say? I go read comments. Now I go back. Sorry. Then he talked about anemia. Yes, he said even loss of blood can cause anemia, because if blood is not going to the heart, if it's not even the drug, then if blood is not enough to go to the heart, somebody can Kpai, because blood needs to go to the heart. Also from the heart, brain needs blood. So if it's not getting to the brain, the body can just shut down. So, and if it's cause of anemic, it can cause Kpai to Mohbad. Then he also stated again another part that that he also observed from what they told him. These are based on his own observations. That what they told him, the nurses, Mohbad's friends and family, they did not rush Mohbad to the hospital. They did not give attention as much as they should have done. The proper way they should have done. They didn't take it. More or less like, please, hold on, I'm almost through. I beg, wait, please. It's not easy to read, I beg. I'm tired, please. No, please. I'm almost through. Sorry. This is just the last person I'm reading from. So he said that the Kpai might be too much, and he observed something that the family did, more or less like, let me say, I don't negligence, like they should have rushed him to the hospital, or the earlier they have done the right thing, the better it would have been. Then he also said, yes, then he now said that no CPR, from his observation that he had asked from them. Nobody performed CPR. None of them have knowledge of what CPR is about. Now, Kabil now asked, said, what degree of death stage did people even respond? He said, if I tell people, he said, they now told him that he already said third stage. Then the doctor still said, if I tell patient relative he is dead and wakes up, okay, yes, he said, what degree of death stage did you use in stating that Mohbad and Kpai can you use to judge? He now said, the doctor now said, if I tell patient relative that the patient is dead without assessing properly, and while the patient, he said, the patient now, they are now going home with the corpse, only for the person to wake up, that won't you come back and beat me, that I said this person is dead. So he said, he further said, he said, and face me, yeah. He now said, we have our clinical signs, we see showing signs of showing a period of death. So he explained himself that because they have the clinical stage, like, you know, when he was giving the rigor mortis, ago mortis, all those things, he stated it there. Those are the things you will see, the clinical things based on experience, that this person have died, no signs and all that. So the doctor now, lawyer now said, did you observe negligence? This is another person that was asking, another lawyer. The doctor said yes. Lawyer said, okay, I think it's Kabir that was asking, sorry. Lawyer said, who is to get medical history? Now, who is to get the medical history? The doctor said, doctor or midwife are to take history diagnosis before nurse can now go by following instructions. So at this point, he was saying that the medical history can be gotten by a physician or a midwife. So he explained the midwife part that, you know, when a woman wants to give birth, because it's midwives that take care of pregnancy, like when they want to give birth, like in abroad and some other places, like London. He said, I think they use the London health system to judge their own. They usually check. Midwives will be the one to check the centimeter. They will ask you about Peters. They will do all those things. That's when they will be able to diagnose for you. But a nurse is not meant to do all these things. A nurse is not meant to do it. That it's actually the job of the physician. So when a physician has seen, checked the patient, the history, the physician as in or doctor will be the one to now diagnose the patient that you have come with this kind of condition. These are the drugs and medications you have to take. Now, nurse will now come in and follow the instructions of the doctor by administering medication. That's their job. Then if there is any lapses they see, they will call for help from the doctor to continue to come and check, and the doctor can look, either reduce the drug or leave it or cut out some drugs. Now the next question was asked by lawyer again asked sorry, you also suggest ceftriaxone can cause death. The doctor now said no. One of my thinkings, I did not suggest that ceftriaxone can cause death. He's just saying one of his thinkings based on what he explained, that if blood shortage, this one is overdose, you need to check the dosage and everything. So that was then Feyikemi asked the question. I'm sorry, but I actually missed that his question. I didn't really, he was sitting beside me. Feyikemi of the other side asked the question. So the doctor now said, okay, yes, I remember that. He asked the question based on the stage of rigor mortis, that he said that Mohbad has died, that the rigor mortis are set in around 3 hours after 3 hours of death or something. The doctor now said no. That what if his final stage of rigor mortis? The doctor said no. That I said the minimum time that Mohbad had died was 3 hours. Based on what he saw, there's a probability that Mohbad might have died over 24 hours, over 16 hours, over 30 hours, but he cannot pick the exact time. You understand? But the minimum hour is 3 hours that Mohbad had gone. That's what he is given. But there's probability that he had been long gone. And what if that stage you are seeing, that the stage that he might be seeing is the stage that Mohbad is wearing out to leave motives. So Kpai was like, he felt some kind of way. So I asked the question. They didn't allow me though, because they said I've asked the question before. So someone who have not asked. So no one knows tomorrow helped me to ask. So my question was, please differentiate time of Kpai and BID. Question 1. Question 2 says, is it possible to have BID 3:20 p.m. and time of death 3:30 p.m.? Then my third question was, please can you educate us if the rigor mortis can set in? It can set in between 3:20 p.m. to 4:20 p.m. your time of BID. So the doctor explained the BID, stating that BID could be 2 hours, 3 hours, or even 1 hour, but it means that you didn't see the person alive before the person dying. That's like this person had died, then you are just seeing the person. You are seeing the person after Kpai. That's BID. When the person came after the Kpai, he now made mention of another word that they use, T something. Then he now said time of death now is like when a patient is in their hospital, you take care of the patient, and the patient now dies maybe even the next day of you in front of you. Now this person is crying before you, not, so that's time of Kpai. That's a current Kpai time. Then he also talked about, he also responded based on the second question that it's because I said, is it possible to have BID? So, but nobody, I don't know, they shall skip that question. But obviously from what he responded to, obviously we cannot have BID obviously we cannot have time of death 3:30 p.m. when somebody is BID at 3:20. Now, the third one, he answered it again. He said, that's the one I said, please can you educate us if the rigor mortis can set in before Kiniko. So he said rigor mortis sets in, like he said, 3 hours, after minimum 3 hours after Kpai. So the next one, it was observer asked, did you see the wife? That was somebody asked the question. The doctor said, I saw about 5 men, and later, he said, and later on we saw one, he said, and later I saw one carrying a child, narrated a false story of, then he now narrated the false story of somebody snapping moves. So when the doctor was talking, the doctor said, I saw about five men shouting, Mo, this, help us, save no. And later he saw one of them carrying the baby. So he now jumped in. He said, then there's somebody that came, he said there's somebody that was claiming that he was at our hospital. He saw Mohbad alive. He snapped with Mohbad, and the next minute the nurse followed Mohbad in, only for the nurse to come back. You all remember that record now. So he referenced the record. He said that never even happened. How can that even happen with somebody that was BID? Now, some people just love to clout chase. So some of us were talking, some people were saying, forget it, that is part of the script that they are giving to the public. So he said, nothing of such ever happened in the hospital. So they said because of that video that was trending, that rumor that was trending, now Perez now said, the guy now said, let me go ahead. He said, snapping with Mo. So they went to watch the CCTV. Yes. So he said they went to watch the CCTV, and Mo was brought in. They drove in with speed. They would have broken fence if not careful. CCTV showed, and yes, a lifeless body. So now at this point here, he now said, I will still continue. I'm almost through. This is the last part. So he now said that because of that rumor, what did he call the man that owns the rank of that person, that they had to go watch their CCTV again. So when they watched the CCTV, he looked at it, as they saw the CCTV, that was when he later now knew that the wife was there, that they came later. Now, the wife was sitting on the chair at the reception. Okay, let me quickly read it. So that I will just narrate it back the way he said it. From CCTV, he saw, I'll call this woman back, please. He said from CCTV, he saw CY sitting on chair. Nurse never went to the hospital with them. Saw her looking down and depressed. Other nurses, and they confirmed him dead before they came. Okay, so now at this point here, you know, the doctor was even now explaining that because of that record. So this is the end, but this is the end. This is the last part. Now the doctor explained. He said that because of the what they call it, the lady. Sorry, because of the video of that guy saying that Mohbad, I saw Mohbad. I met him at the hospital that morning. That this. That, can you all remember that one? That what happened was that because of that, the owner, I've forgotten the rank he called the man, that they all had to go watch the CCTV again. So while they were watching it, it was then that they saw the way they drove in. That the person was drove in a very rough manner. That if the person wasn't careful, the person would have entered into the hospital wall and bashed it. That they were rushing and they saw Mohbad's body. They carried Mohbad's body into the hospital lifeless. So inside that CCTV, it showed Wunmi. That's why they later saw Wunmi on the chair, CY sitting down. That the nurse later showed up as well, but they showed up after they have told the guys that Mohbad was BID. You get? So they saw the video footage where they came, that the nurse, the other fellow nurses in that hospital that they work were questioning the nurse. So that nothing of such happened, but because of that guy's narrative, they had to go watch their own CCTV because they questioned them, so they had to bring out the CCTV and said, the person that they handled, if it's this same guy that they are talking about, Mohbad, was never brought in alive. It was BID. In short, he was already rigor mortis, and the CCTV footage was showing where he was even telling the guys that look at the stages of Kpai. He was showing them at bedside that see Mohbad, see this has happened, and all that, advising them that they've done the best. Even stress compression cannot wake him up again, and all that. So that was why they had to release a publication to debunk the person that was coming out trying to spoil their hospital name. So he said he needed to take he needs to take glucose at some point. So that was the end of it. So they said, okay, you can go. Thank you so much for your submission. Then when he finished, Son now spoke to the magistrate. Were like, when is the next inquest? That the pathologist will have to come back and it should be cross-examined, blah, 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 blah. So they looked at it. Somebody said next week Friday. She said, no, that's Good Friday. It's not possible. Sanchito said his son is getting married on Sunday, blah, 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 blah. Excuse me. So they started for the 25th of April, 2025, time 11 a.m. Thank you, Ibi Simide. That's the end of my story. No, the first one was bike now. This is Perez, not Kuramed. Kuramed doctor did not come. Not be Kuramed, not Perez. See, I don't talk and say, it's sure for me, say Perez will come. Because Perez is competent. So thank you very much. That's all I have to do. Thank you. You better drop like I say clap. You're welcome. So that's it.
Nemoli, please, which day did they rush Mohbad to Perez?
Thanks for everything.
Perez said Tuesday.
Tuesday, okay.
Tuesday, 4:30 p.m. Thank you.
Wow.
Same thing as their report, and they said there's a video footage of it showing everything. So the beautiful thing I would say is that the driver gave us explicit of what he knows. One of the ones things, some of them are saying, they coached the driver. I said, how can you say they coached the driver? Coach the driver to talk sharp like this and smart.
Nemoli, the driver said exactly what happened.
Yeah.
The driver was truthful enough. And that tells us when and what time Mohbad Kpai.
Thank you, Sunshine.
See, the doctor was so diplomatic about time and when Mohbad Kpai. Mohbad had been Kpai since that Monday morning. when they rushed out at that 3 o'clock on that Monday morning, at the midnight, that was when that happened.
Yes, 1 at 3 a.m. About 3 a.m.
The driver even said that if he was the one the wife is disgracing like that, he would have beat the wife in the car. Wunmi is just a good tempered person.
Nemoli, now tell me who did the nurse treated on Tuesday?
Nobody.
For me, Adura, allegedly.
God bless you.
Allegedly,
God bless you, allegedly. God bless you. So, their movie was scripted, everything was pre-planned, their plan worked.
This Wunmi, I want to believe this.
Please hold on.
When I was listening, let me just say something. When I was listening, right, what I could deduce is this, right? Set of young people who did self-medication by themselves. Now, it happened that something had already happened to Mohbad. They have lost it. And yeah, I want to add to, if I should add to Karimon's statement on TikTok, where she said she allegedly told Wunmi to put hand on Mohbad's distant neck to check for pulse, and there was no pulse. I feel they had already done their treatment. She contacted her sister that early hours on Monday. Her sister was not the one telling her what and what to do. So all those things already happened. Now they now decided that let them do the script. That a nurse will be the one to come and take care of Mohbad. Now, could it be? Some people allege that Karimo said allegedly that on Monday Mohbad was already at the morgue. Could that be that that's why they were seeing coldness and wetness, or they claimed that it was water that they poured? Now, the nurse said something in a dispensation, I may say they call her, that she wasn't there when they poured water on Mohbad because Mohbad did not convulse when she was there, and when she came back, it wasn't, they didn't pour water.